Hey guys, welcome to Avian Games. Just Jack today. You got Chris last week, so you get Jack this week. Coming at you with another deck profile. Like Chris said last week, we love Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not something we get to really talk about too much other than with each other. So we thought we'd start sharing decks to see what other people thought. Chris last week got a bunch of hate on his deck profile. Yeah, he's a big stinker. I hate him too, so keep giving him that hate. But my deck profile, man, this is a real good one. So I guess we'll just hop right into it. I guess I should preface this with this is not a super meta deck at all. It's not a meta deck. I don't even know why I said super meta deck. It's not remotely a meta deck. It is a casual, fun deck to play. Very nostalgia. But it does have some opportunity to get some hits in and get some wins if you're playing some rogue stuff or just playing fun with your friends. But yeah, let's get into it. So starting off, Toon Blackluster Soldier, probably the best card in the deck. Pretty new, definitely a 3 of. He's just your no summoning sickness. Only one of 2 cards without summoning sickness, so definitely want to use it. And it has a banishing effect that's a soft once per turn, so definitely like him. Toon Dark Magician and Toon Red Eyes, pretty great cards. I only like them at 2 because you can't really do too much with them in hand, or if you have one in hand, you probably want the other to come out in some fashion through other means, if that makes any sense. So like Blackstone of Legend, I run 3 of it. It's really not that great of a card, and I wish there was something else I could replace Blackstone of Legend with to get Red Eyes out or to get Dark Magician out, but this is kind of what I'm stuck with right now. It's if this gets negated, it's kind of a huge bummer, and you're sitting on this, or you're going into like Link Karibo or Relinquish Anima. But this is kind of your starting cards. These ones are kind of supplementary. So Toon Harpy Lady, more just for the spell and trap removal. She's nice, and she's just a level 4, so you can put her on the board. Toon Cyber Dragon, I like to go second, so easy card to start out with. Gets a Toon on the board. Dark Magician Girl, only other card without summoning sickness, so that's kind of nice. I only want one of her. She's a brick otherwise. She's really not that great. So just want to get that extra 2,000 punch sometimes. Toon Gemini Elf, I never really use her effect. It does come up sometimes, but most of the time she's like I have nothing else to do, set one, pass, and then hopefully she survives while I have Toon Kingdom on the field. Eater of Millions, the extra deck kind of is useless, in my opinion. It really doesn't do too much for this deck. It has some plays, but just not enough to be super relevant. So Eater of Millions, banish some of those cards that are really the most useless, and then get over some of the stuff that your opponent might be bothering the deck with. So just a 2 of on that. Then you got Toon Kingdom, the most important card in the deck. If you don't have this, you're not playing. Pretty obvious. You're running Terraforming to get that. You'll run 3 Toon Table of Contents to get that. You'll run 3 Toon Bookmark to get that. And when you don't have that, or if you do have this, you can always go into the other stuff that I play in the deck. So definitely want Toon Bookmark, though, of all of them. It's just nice to get him into the graveyard so that you're able to stop the Toon Kingdom pop. Then you have Toon Page Flip. Pretty self-explanatory. It's just an automatic special summon, and it's a quick play spell effect. So it's cool to also, if you set it and then use it on your opponent's turn, to get something like Toon Dark Magician or Toon Red Eyes on their turn. So then you're able to attack on your turn. So maybe during the end phase, if that's possible. 3 Comic Hand. I don't see enough people running 3 Comic Hand. I like going second, even though this deck does not have a lot of like playthrough. So that's why I'm telling you to play rogue decks, and maybe that's why people don't play a lot of it. But this card really just solidifies like screwing up your opponent on your turn, then you having either Blackluster and then having opponent's cards, then you're able to attack directly with 2 different cards that don't have summoning sickness. I mean, I guess summoning sickness is like the biggest problem you have with this deck. So Comic Hand kind of eliminates that issue. So if you're able to get something that's huge on your opponent's board and then also have Toon Blackluster Soldier, you could maybe win in one go if you also use Toon Rollback, which is the next card. I only like one of that. A lot of people play Mimicat instead. I like Rollback. I just like hitting twice. Kind of a card, but it really does get you the OTK sometimes. I could see this being anything now if you want to change it. That makes sense, but just like how I play it. Pot of Extravagance, 3 of. Like I said, the extra deck, kind of useless. Prosperity can also be a card. I don't own this card in real life, so I don't usually play this, but I tried it with Prosperity. You just can't get the OTK off. Going second, so you're kind of grinding longer, but I could see this being more important to actually get the kingdom if you're not drawing into the kingdom instead of randomly getting it off the Pot of Extravagance. So totally viable. Toon Terror, kind of a trap card, but it's searchable, which is why I like it. So if I have everything I need on my turn, like let's say if I'm going turn 1, if I have everything I need, I'm going to Toon Terror, or I'll get Toon Terror so that I have a negate, so that I can disrupt my opponent a little bit, instead of just having Toon Kingdom that stops him from targeting and or destroying my cards. But I can see this being anything really, imperm, or a third version of There Can Only Be One. I love this card. Most of your cards are different things: Fiend, Spellcaster, Machine, Winged Beast, Warrior, another Spellcaster, Dragon. So your opponent most of the time is going to have more cards that are just one thing, and that really screws people up. I also like summon limit, so if there are different things like this deck, then you have summon limit, and that can be a huge issue for your opponent. But yeah, that's the main deck. A lot of things I could definitely see being changed out. This is the way I like to play it the most, and it's fun to me this way. I'll show you a little clip afterwards of how I play with it, and how it's won me games. The extra deck. This card I've never gone into, but it can be done. I've done it I think once, but it could be anything. Relinquish Anima, like I said before, that's for the Blackstone Legend. You could also make this Link Karibo. Nightmare, pretty self-explanatory, just easy. Barricade, Borg, Blocker, just for the protection of Toon Kingdom, but you're honestly never gonna really go into this. Desperate situations you might. Baguska, there's only 3 cards in the deck that you can even go into this, so once again, desperation play. And then the level 7s, I mean, these are the most important cards, I would say, especially Red Eyes, Flare Metal Dragon. It's just an easy way to, if you get that direct damage on your opponent, and they're kind of bleeding, going into this with Red Eyes and Dark Magician, to then just sit and let them bleed to death, which is actually one of the replays I'll show you. But other than that, I mean, Big Eye is nice, and Titanic Moths, whatever. I mean, I just throw it in there for kind of fun. I don't really ever go into it, but it's another direct damage. So, but yeah, that's the profile. If you like it, great. If you hate it, I guess I'll get the hate like Chris got on his last video. I mean, I don't mind. It's just really kind of a fun deck, and who doesn't like a little Pegasus nostalgia? But let me know what you think. Like it, hate it, comment, subscribe, don't subscribe. That's okay. All right, well, check out these replays now. Bye.